Did somebody order a podcast? Get it? Because that's her intro. You all know who we're talking about today. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, whatever. Mabu, hey, and hello, everyone. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Today, I've just got water, because that's all I've got. But I've also got my cup mug on hand. Ooh. LanaGCreations at Etsy.com. Link is in the description below.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I'm wearing my cup shirt. Yes.
Period.
I could have sworn I had a Laganja Estranja shirt, but I could not find it in my closet. So I'm like, wait. So just pretend I'm wearing it.
Well, it's fine because, oh my God, we have Laganja Estranja on the podcast today.
Big deal.
Big deal. Continuing our beautiful Slaysian Royale preseason coverage. We had to get the big guns in here to talk about Yuhua. And we've got Laganja here today to talk about Miss Yuhua Hamasaki. And we're going to get into that interview. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. Make sure to check out all of the videos that we've done so far in the Slaysian Royale pre-season coverage. All of those will be linked in the playlist on the channel, and that will also be at the end of the video. You can also check out the description below, where you can find our other YouTube channels, our audio podcasts, our Patreon, where you can find us on social media, as well as our merch link, and where you can follow both Laganja and Yuhua as well. Go support them, go tip them, go do all those things to support them, because they're great and fabulous and wonderful. And without further ado, let's talk to Laganja Estranja. Y'all, it is a wild day here at the Cup. Drag Race royalty is in the house. Jay Jackson, Laganja Estranja, welcome to the Cup, baby. We are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yes. We're so happy to have you here today, talking about Miss Yuhua.
Yes.
Miss Yuhua. Finally.
Miss Yuhua, my bootleg queen, honey.
Finally back on TV.
Yes, where she belongs. Thank God.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's been long enough. Thank you. Thank you, Slaysian Royale. Thank you for giving us what we've been asking for.
Agreed.
Fun fact, I don't know if either of you knew this, but Yuhua is the first person to compete in an international all-star season without doing an American all-star first. So
I love that. She skipped a step.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Herstory.
That's right.
Well, we've got some questions for you about her, but we want to know about you first, ma'am. What has life been like for you since Drag Race? What's been going on for you career-wise? What's been up?
You know, life is great. I'm so blessed that I, really put a stamp on the franchise and have been able to travel the world ever since. I just got back from touring Australia with a couple of the Real Housewives, Teresa Giudice and Whitney Wild Rose. And then I was also performing in Thailand. I just got to open up Pangina's new club called EDT, which is a shower show club. So that was a lot of fun. And now I'm home for a little bit before I get back on the road. I'm headed to North Carolina, New Jersey, and Sacramento this month alone. So staying busy, keeping my name in people's peripheral, and just doing what I love, which is the art form of drag and performing and dance, and of course, all things cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Stoner siblings. I relate. Yes. You have always been on my list of favorite queens of all time. And it is a privilege to have you here with us, because you have always just been one of the most impactful Drag Race contestants, and honestly, drag artists for me as a non-binary individual. Like, your entire journey has just been so beautiful to see. So I just want to say, if no one has told you recently, thank you for just being so open with yourself in general, because it does impact a lot of people, and I am one of them. So just thank you
well,
for
that's
being
very kind of you. Thank you.
thank you for being you. Of course.
Absolutely. We only have one of ourselves, so I try to be
Yeah.
it to the fullest at all times, for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah. And you did talk about how booked and busy you are. And I am so happy every time I get to hear you on a podcast or see you on my TV screen. And we actually covered a show on our podcast this year, a little show called Drag House Rules. You may be familiar with it.
Yes, I am.
Yes, but we very much enjoyed watching the show. It was
Oh,
so
good.
campy, so funny. I think the highlight of the show was your interactions with Tammy Brown. So I want to know
I mean,
how
I
that was.
don't disagree. We kind of stole the moment, you
You
know?
really did.
Definitely.
Like, how was it working with Tammy and how wild her brain is? And when are we going to get a spin-off show?
Right. Tell me about it. I think we need a spinoff as well. Are you listening, John Mark, who was the amazing creator of that show? But yeah, working with Tammy is such a dream. We've been friends for a very long time, ever since I've been on the scene here in Los Angeles, so long before Drag Race. She's just a wonderful, wild, wacky woman, and I love her so much. And so when we found out we were doing this project together, we were so thrilled. John Mark, who I said is the creator, is a friend of both of ours. So he kind of knew how she and I were together. So he didn't really write a lot when it came to Tammy and I's scenes. He knew that we would be able to riff off each other. So a lot of what you saw in the show was improvised and was just me going along with Tammy's crazy antics. And I love that the world got to see a little bit of how she and I are normally. We're very much that way. She's a very playful individual, and you know when I'm with her, I just go with it. You know, I've learned that it's Tammy's world, and we're all lucky to be visiting, and so you know I hop on the spaceship and I go off, and it's always a great time. So I'm really happy that that translated on screen and that so many people have made comments about really enjoying our moments together on that show.
Definitely. We would have a segment where we would determine if something was scripted or if it was improvised. And everything we saw between you two, we're like, oh yeah, this is totally improvised. And we loved it.
Yeah, well,
um,
that was the cool thing about that show. And, you know, I know a lot of viewers had qualms with it and they wanted it to be a real competition. But personally, as someone who doesn't really like competition reality, we loved the fact that it was scripted. We loved the fact that we knew when we were going to get kicked off. And it kind of allowed us to play a bit more freely than had it been like a reality series competition.
mhm.
100%.
But another thing that I've loved is listening to you with Joseph Shepard on Queening Out. Every time I see that pop up on Spotify with a new episode, I have to listen to it. And you are always so open and vulnerable. You will cry when you need to cry. How does it feel just putting yourself out there like that on that podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I've been someone who, you know, wears my heart on my sleeve. I think in every episode of Drag Race, I cried too. So I cry a lot. I was lucky enough to grow up in a household where my parents told me crying was normal and that it was good for you. So I've never really had the stigma that I think most people have around being vulnerable and just showing your truth. But Joseph, you know, he really makes it so that I'm able to be that open and honest. You know, Joseph, it feels like a very safe space for me. He has his own trials and tribulations in life. And so while they may not be the same as mine, we both have an understanding of how one another struggles in this world. And I think that allows us to just be real with one another. And, you know, I love making the podcast with him. We've been trying to make it happen this year, but it's
Mhm.
just been extremely busy for both of us as we're both pursuing our individual projects. But we are hopeful that before the end of the year, we will get a season 4 of Queening Out. So to those loyal fans, we
Yes.
want to say thank you. We're
Yes.
working on it. Keep your fingers crossed. But yeah, I really love him. He's just such a wonderful human. And I think our conversations are equal part hilarious and also really meaningful.
Absolutely. Love it.
It's so inspirational to see in the Drag Race like realm as well, because like not all podcasts in the Drag Race realm are created equal, and like we try to, I'll say that as gently as I can, but
Yeah.
you know, we definitely try to, you know, keep it real and give our genuine thoughts, but do so with an air of no, but they're real people and they're drag artists, and at the end of the day this is art and this is people being vulnerable and sharing a vulnerable part of themselves, so we want to uplift them and do everything we can to uplift, but also like if we don't like something, we're going to share that. And so it like the vulnerability and keeping it real and all of that, like we, like, I feel like I take a lot from Joseph as well in that space as well. And I love the podcast. Absolutely. So having Joseph and both of you having that podcast is just such a great addition to the Drag Race realm.
Well, thanks.
And I'm very excited for
let
season
him
4.
know you said that for sure.
Oh, thank you. But yes, we got to talk about Yuhua, because it is so exciting to see her back on TV finally. I want to know, obviously, because throughout the series that we've done, most of the queens that we've had on have been from the season that their sister competed on, but obviously you and Yuhua didn't compete on the same season. But I want to know, when did you meet Yuhua and what was your first impression of her?
Oh my gosh. Well, I smoke a lot of cannabis, so trying to get me to remember something that happened like a decade ago is really challenging.
Apologies. So yes, I understand.
I don't know if I can pinpoint the exact moment we met.
Understood.
It could have honestly been on her YouTube channel. I really don't remember if we met in person before that or not.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, I've been doing Bootleg Opinions since I can remember, and I think we just really formed a relationship over line. I think, you know, because she is so real and because I am so real, our chats that we happen to have for public were also real chats for us. And so we became friends through making content. And then, you know, when I'm in New York, always try to see her, and vice versa when she's here in LA. So yeah, we just kind of became friends, I would say, through work, honestly.
Yeah. And I have been such a big Bootleg Opinions fan. I love the series. I love everything she's done with it.
She could pinpoint it. If you asked her, she would be able to pinpoint it. She's got receipts on everything. This woman is a nightmare.
And you can tell that too through the content she's made over the years. Like you can tell that she is that kind of person, and I love that about her. I want to know, because you have done Bootleg Opinions with her so much, if you had to describe Yuhua in 3 words, what would those be?
Disheveled. Hardworking.
Great.
And kind.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. A gorgeous trio. Sure. I love that.
She's gonna love that I said disheveled first, but you know, it's like a nice.
You can do a compliment sandwich.
A bit like clumsy, a bit unorganized. You know, she's just a little disheveled.
We do love disheveled first. You couldn't have kind first. No, disheveled.
Yeah, that was the first word that came to my mind.
I love it.
Fair. So what would you say is your favorite thing about Yuhua?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's hard to just have one. So I'm going to say several. One of my favorite things about her is that she's stuck to her own lane, and she's never had any qualms about that. Like, she's never complained or poor me or why not me. And I'm someone who does that a lot. So I really respect the fact that she created her own lane. She stays in it. She's happy being in it. She's grateful for when she gets other opportunities, but ultimately she has her own lane, and that is what works for her. So that, along with her, you know, work ethic, is something that I really admire. And then I would just say, like, how kind she is. I mean, you know, does she read people on her show? Sure. But ultimately, I think Yuhua is the type of artist that really does want to uplift those around her. And I feel like she does use her platform in a way that Yeah, it might be shady. There might be moments of, whatever. But ultimately, I think any queen who watches her show and hears her opinions with whatever guest she has is always going to leave feeling pretty good about themselves. And I don't think that that's quite often how most people feel when they listen to other podcasts or watch other shows that are drag race centric. So I think, yeah, just the way she's able to find balance between constructive criticism and also always uplifting others is like such a power move.
I agree completely. I completely agree because not all, as we say, not all podcasts in the Drag Race realm are created equal, which is
Right.
unfortunate, but the reality of the situation. So,
Totally.
now you and Yua have very different drags. Like you exist in very different drag planets, which is why I love your friendship together. But if you could steal any of her drag skills and apply it to your drag, what would you take from Yua?
Well, we live in very different worlds, so let's go with
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
What would I take from her? Well, I think she's very creative.
Mhm.
Sometimes that creativity borders on crafty, but she's very creative. She's very
Mhm.
resourceful. And I
Yes.
do think she thinks outside of the box. She doesn't approach
Mhm.
something in a very, black and white way, which is very much how I do. So, I actually helped work with her a lot on her, not a lot, but I helped her with her looks for the Slaysian Royale. I was one of her like sounding boards that she was able to bounce off of, which
Okay.
also like meant a lot to me that she trusted my opinion of drag. But it was just very interesting to see like when she would give me the challenge and then she'd say what her idea was. I was like, whoa, I would have never gone that way or guessed that way. So I
Okay.
think, yeah, she's very resourceful, she's very innovative, and the way she approaches things is not like the typical way that most would. And so I admire that. And I think that that's something that I would like want to borrow from her and use for myself when it came to creating drag.
I
Okay.
love that. I'm so excited to
Yeah.
see what she's created for this season. I'm so excited.
Hmm.
Me too.
So, what do you think will be Yuha's secret weapon for Slaysian Royale that no one sees coming?
Well, I don't know if they won't see it coming, but humor. I think she's hilarious. And I think, maybe if one of her looks is not the best in comparison, she will be able to use her wit on the runway to make the judges fall in love with her and the vibe that she's giving off, and
Mhm.
maybe not notice so much the him, the this, the that they were maybe picking at her for. I don't know. I
Sure.
haven't seen the show, but I'm just guessing that her humor and her wit on the runway will be something that will come in handy.
100%. 100%. Um, Now, do you have any fun stories from your friendship with Yua? That we haven't seen on Bootleg Opinions or anything? Any fun tidbits from Yua that we haven't seen?
I mean, I feel like every time we're together, we're filming, so I'm pretty sure people have seen it all. But the
Sure.
last time, the last time I was in New York, I got to record with her in person, which was really fun. We'd never, well, actually, that's not true. We had done one episode before together in her old apartment, but now
Hmm.
this was the first time we were actually together in her new apartment. And, it was just so fun seeing her space and seeing her crazy life and how she lives in her studio in the middle of the apartment. And, me smoking joints outside of her apartment waiting for her, and then me getting there and her being like, oh my god, why do you smell so fierce? And like just the typical banter between us. I think you ended up seeing it on the episode that we recorded that day together,
Yeah.
but what you see between us on screen is how we are off screen. It's just, well, actually, we're meaner off screen. I will be honest. Like we're reviewing the girls, we definitely have moments where we're like, oh god, I have nothing nice to say, and then we'll be like, well, this girl, blah blah blah. So like,
Been
those
there.
moments maybe
Been
that no one
there.
sees. We definitely can be quite shady together. But yeah, I mean, my favorite thing, or one of the moments that really like touched me, was when she started a GoFundMe for me when I began my transition about 3 years ago now. I think we're at year 3, and she raised like $24,000 for me, and I was able to get electrolysis and laser on my entire body, which was like such a big first step for me. And it was just so unexpected. I had, yes, we're close. Yes, we're sisters, but like, no tea, I kind of expected like a Gia Gunn to do something like that for me. So when she did that, it was just like really touched me, and it really showed me how much like she values me and loves me as a sister. And um, yeah, I don't know. So that's like one of my favorite moments that I've had, is that genuinely was a surprise. I genuinely didn't know. I was so gagged, and it was just really, really helpful at the beginning of my transition. In fact, I'm like, Yuhua, can you do another one? But no, like I love her so much. I just think that she's such a well-rounded person, not only as a drag queen and as an artist, but just as a human being. They don't make them like they make her.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely see that from her. I really love that story. And it's kind of relatable because Logan and we have not been in the same room very often at all. I think
No.
only twice we've been.
Twice, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. But since you did help you out a little bit before the season, what was the best advice you gave her before going to compete?
Do more. I was like, bigger silhouette, sister. I need more. I need more drag. Now, don't pile it on like the full kitchen sink, but like, I want to see, like, can this outfit change? Can there be a reveal? Like, I was just really trying to push her to bring that level of drag that she often does. But, I think as a bootleg queen, it does, get a bit monotonous. You just kind of throw on whatever's, in your closet next to you, just like I am today. Yeah. So, I just was there to kind of push her and guide her and, help her with some of her ideas and concepts to make them fully realized.
Fair. And it is interesting for Yuhua to be coming back because she is the queen that's been off TV the longest of anybody that is competing on Slaysian Royale. So do you think this is going to be an advantage for her or a disadvantage? Like, how do you think that time off of being on TV? Because I think it's 7 years since her original season. Do you think that it'll be an advantage or a disadvantage for her?
Well, I really think that it's actually going to be an advantage for her. I think sometimes the girls come back too quickly. Now, obviously, we saw with Lydia on this most recent All Stars, like she was able to turn it out in 7 days. So I think it just depends on the girl. But for Yuhua, I feel like, it's like a wine. Like this time has allowed her to become not necessarily richer in money, because she's a bootleg queen like me, but richer in life, richer in knowledge, richer in her approach. And I think the more time you give yourself, the better off you are. And there's also something to be said about, well, not giving time off and being on TV and being in the ring, is also good too. So I think it could go either way. But I think the fact that she's the only American queen, all eyes are already going to be on her, and the stakes are already going to be higher. So her being on TV recently or not doesn't really matter as much as the fact that she's the only American,
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if you know this about Drag Race Philippines, but they're kind of famous for their Untucked. It's very dramatic, lots of fights, lots of tears, like pretty much every episode. So I'm wondering how you think Yuhua will deal with the dramatic flair that we get from Untucked.
I think she'll avoid it at all costs. My sister does not get in fights. She does not cry. She's very private. So I can't really see her going into that unless someone was to come for her. Now, if someone comes for her, I definitely see the claws coming out. If someone close to her was to have like a touching moment, I could see her then maybe getting a bit emotional because she cares for the queen. But I don't think we're going to see a big meltdown happening from her. That's just not really her style.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see her as someone where, like, if the drama is brought to her, she can finish the drama. But
Right.
I don't see her. I could also see her maybe stirring the pot. Like, it
No.
being the. Really? Okay, you know her better than we do. You know her better than we
I
do.
don't know.
Okay.
She just doesn't give me pot stir vibes. Like, she is genuinely so nice. Now, if a producer
Okay.
asked her to stir the pot, fine. But I don't
Okay,
think like that would be her natural inclination. Like, that's just
That's
not.
fair.
She just doesn't give me that, you know?
Yeah. I just wonder, as the only American, like you were mentioning earlier, like, I wonder whether the Philippines producers might rely on her to maybe bring a little bit of that American drama, even if she's not traditionally the person that would be the pot stirrer. I'm wondering. I'm really intrigued to see, like, what her role ends up being. I do see her ultimately being like Mama You and just being the person, like you were saying, like, staying out of all the drama, being everyone's friend. Like, that is, especially because there is a strategy element.
She is smart, and she does
Yes.
know that when there's drama, you should probably get in on it.
Yes.
So I
yeah.
do see her being the little on the corner of it all.
Sure.
But yeah, I
Sure.
just don't see her in there stirring the pot or manipulating it or anything like that.
I see that. I agree with you. I see that for sure. And because there's a strategy element to this season as well, I could see her kind of just being friends with everybody and being like, well, I'm not going to get involved with the drama because I know that there's strategy here. So I see that. I see that for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Now, let's talk hypotheticals here for a second.
Okay.
Now, if for some reason Yuhua goes in there and they decide to send her home first, I hope not, but if they did, what would be your message to her?
They got you, gal.
Yeah.
They got you, gal. You flew all the way over there for one look. They got you, gal. That would be my message. I mean, what else do you say? I'm sorry. They did you dirty. How dare they? I love you. Good for you for going back. I mean, I would say all the positive, cheerful things too, but ultimately I would just look at her and be like, well, they got you, gal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't go back. See? You know, I could see something like that. I could see something like that transpiring.
Period.
Fair. Okay, well, let's take it to the other end of the spectrum. Let's say in a few months, Yuhua is crowned the winner of Slaysian Royale. What would be your message to her?
Well, then I'd be like, you got me, gal. How dare you not tell me you were going to win this?
There you go. Period. I love that. Now, we all know Yuhua is one of the most beloved queens in the Drag Race fandom, and I will say one of the most underrated queens that's ever been on Drag Race. What are you most excited for the world to see about Yuhua now that she is back on Drag Race?
Well, I mean, her drag is fierce, and like you said, she is often like not given the flowers that she deserves. I mean, you can't look at her drag on Bootleg Opinions and judge her solely on that. It's called Bootleg for a reason. She's not going to give you her high horror red carpet drag, but anytime she's doing high horror red carpet drag, bitch is done. Mug is dusted, glitters on the cheeks, hair is in a contraption, the outfit is giving detailed. I mean, she has rated queens for seasons and seasons. So she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. So I'm just excited for people to hopefully see her elevated drag and to hopefully see like the beautiful person that she's blossomed into. I mean, I remember her from her season and definitely thinking she was a little spitfire and, you know, but I just think like now there's so much more she has to show people, not only with her humor and her wit, but hopefully her heart, you know. I really hope, excuse me. I really hope that her heart will come across in this series because that's to me what I find so special about her.
I agree completely
Mm-hmm.
with everything you said, because she is a special queen that I know I've been waiting to see back on TV for years and years and years, and I'm just this feels like the right time. for her to
Yeah, it really does. And I hope that this show is popular, because, one of the things, like when I talk to Australian queens, it's like, it does great for them at home in Australia, but it doesn't really allow them to travel the world per se. So I'm hopeful with this Slaysian, season that this will give Yuha an opportunity to travel to all these Asian places. She's always joking with me. She's like, girl, you've been to more Asian countries than me. And it's like, I'm hopeful that this will now allow her to have that experience that she so much deserves and is so worthy of.
I agree. I couldn't agree more, because she deserves it, because she's worked for it. She's been putting in the work for years.
Yeah.
And it is about time that she gets the global recognition that she deserves for
Agreed.
just how talented she
Slash,
is.
I want to go and tour with her when she goes over to Asia. So I'm like, let's go.
I need
House of Dry.
a period. I need a Laganja and Yuhua tour immediately, please.
Right? It would be amazing.
That sounds sickening. So
yes, I agree. And we would give
Laganja.
great shows, and then we'd both go get our own trade at night. It would be perfect.
There you go.
Perfect. What is better than that? But
right?
Period. Laganja, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
You are an absolutely incredible queen. If no one has told you today, you are an icon, you are a legend, and you are the moment. Now, come on now. So.
Well, thank you very much. And like I said, I'm so happy that I could lend my voice to this. I love my sister dearly, and I just can't wait to see her shine on my television where she belongs.
And we can't wait either. Only a few more days. Thank goodness for that. Thank you, my dear. We appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Wasn't that just fantastic, David?
Yes, I loved it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Laganja, for squeezing us in. She's a busy woman.
She is. She's been traveling. She was all the way across the world when she agreed to do this podcast. So
literally, she is an angel, one of my favorite Drag Race queens of all time. And I'm so excited that we had her on today. So thank you, Laganja, for gracing us with your presence and joining us for this beautiful Slaysian Royale preseason video. Make sure to check out all of the other Slaysian Royale preseason videos that we are doing. Make sure to check out everything else that we have going on currently. We're covering France All-Stars and Brazil here on the channel, so make sure to check out our coverage of that. All of our videos here, make sure to check out our social media links, where you can follow Laganja and Yuhua as well, and where you can get your merch, lanagcreations.etsy.com. All those links are down in the description below. But we're going to go get out of here and freak out some more about Slaysian Royale. You should go check out another video of ours. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So cheers, y'all. Bye. Cheers.